Good evening, Collective, and welcome to my channel, Keeper of the Reaper. If you're new here, welcome to the weirdness. It is going to be exactly that. I'm not going to be for everybody. I'm just want to go ahead and put it out there. I'm not a tarot reader. I happen to read tarot at times and utilize oracle cards, but I am a shaman, and I have a variety of different ways that I bring messages forth for the collective from source and universe. I know it's not going to be for everybody, no hard feelings whatsoever, but if I by chance resonate with you in any way, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps me reach the ones that the messages are for, and I'm looking for my soul family too. And if you're returning, thank you so much for finding something in me to return to. It truly means a lot. I do ramble, and I'm just me. Okay? I don't know how else to explain that, but please bear with me, guys. Trust me, it might start off kind of slow, but it builds momentum, and just, if you could bear with me, I'm new at this. So yeah. Anyway, I think you guys have also been noticing the energy has been kind of up and down, up and down. And there are times when, and I think for my collective, we've been having a really good long stretch of staying tapped the fuck in and being strong, and I started picking up on it yesterday. It's like something shifted. And you don't really know what. You don't quite know where it's coming from, and you want some clarity, but you feel a little discombobulated, somewhat disconnected. And I hear you, and I understand. What's happening is the culmination point that I was talking about in my prior videos. It's coming. And your body has purged a lot. You've healed so much. You've endured a lot. You've integrated so much. You've alchemized so much. And so when we get in these times, especially when we have a good stretch, those of us who are so used to the bottoms usually falling out by now. Something's happened always by now. You may not even realize you're doing it, but subconsciously, part of you is preparing for that. And when it doesn't hit, it's like it throws your entire system up, but it's supposed to. You get what I'm saying? There have been some horrible things done to us. Some of us are aware of it, but have no way to speak out on it just yet. Others, it's starting to come to light. But trust, justice is coming. And if you're feeling kind of numb, not necessarily bad, not necessarily good, but just here. Just stay here. You're not alone. And it's okay. It's okay to be doing nothing. Especially when you have been doing so fucking much. You have been busting your ass. You've been doing the work nobody else wants to do, or even, it's a painful truth, but most don't even have the capacity to. And Source has decided, even if you want to, I'm not gonna let this energy touch you. I'm gonna show you what stillness feels like. And it's not gonna, Whatever is unfamiliar to you is going to feel a little bit uncomfortable at first. It may feel like you've lost your drive. Like, try to figure out a way to explain this. Like, there's a calmness, a stillness within you, but your awareness is present and it's almost like it's just sitting with your being. And you're like, why are we not doing anything? What's happening? Why aren't we? I thought more was going to be happening by now. It's because you're used to being distracted. You're used to having yourself overstimulated and hyper immersed into this or that. And in my last video, I talked about, like, life is what is happening when we're busy doing other things. And life wants to welcome you back. And it's trying to do it in a gentle way. So I'm going to pull some cards, and we're just going to see where this takes us, okay? I'm not going to try to force any sort of narrative. We're not going to try to hone in on just one key point here or there. I know a lot of you are really wanting to know how these injustices are being handled and what's going to be coming in and be a result from that. But let's take a minute and just see what Source wants us to know regarding that. If it comes out and comes up, then great. But if not, let's see where else we can pull our minds to for now. I'm really proud of you guys. Because this shit, it has done a fucking number on so many of us. But guys, focus on your manifestations. If you're in stillness and you're like just trancing out, daydream. Whatever the fuck. Whatever you want. Make it as crazy and out there as you want, and make yourself the star of the show, because that's okay. Channeler of power, potential, magic, illusion, manifestation. Being shaken out of this illusion that you'll never measure up, that you'll never be enough, and you have busted your fucking ass. Athlete. Seeker of vitality, exercise, life, strength, speed. Your whole lives has been a constant endurance training. And that's why so many of these people, these energies and everything are kind of fucked up about the way they've treated you, is because they're like, oh shit. We created one hell of a fucking enemy, and we did that. We made that thick skin. We tormented that, and now it's this powerful. And it's being given this special seat. We didn't ever want it to find out about that. Oh well. We got ours. They'll get theirs too. You focus on your manifestations and how you can apply that vitality that you've kept, that strength that you've built, that hunger for life, and the piece of your motherfucking pie. We've been starved, guys. I love this. I love where this. Young, vitality, innovation, potential, and growth. I hear so many of you subconsciously asking for the damage that was done. If you could please have your vessel restored. Have certain parts of you restored. Well, see, the special thing about you is what has kept you going was there's a purity in you that you might have think you lost that you haven't. You have learned to protect it so fiercely, so ferociously. You have become someone that would have protected you. And you did. And you don't even realize it. I hear so many of your inner children laughing, turning to you. And whether you're even aware of it or not, they think the world of you. Because you have become someone that little you would have known, would have stood up to protect them, would have taught them and been gentle with them where everybody else was rough. So you know what? They have a favor for you, and we're going to get into that in a minute. They have a surprise for you. Oh, that's beautiful. Alrighty then. That just flew over and like hacked into. Anyway, gang, we're gonna see what this is about. Brotherhood of Shadows, Underworld, Transaction, Violence, or Transactions, Violence, and Criminality. I think I already know what this is. So many of you have had to protect that inner child. You may have even developed, like, you may not even be aware that you have dissociated from your inner child in an attempt to keep it safe and keep it pure. So it's been kind of locked away. Like, your awareness of it has been, like, for so many of you. Now, does that mean that your innocence was lost? No. Does that mean that your inner child is gone? No. It may have felt like it. It may have seemed like it. But your inner child was highly aware of what you were doing for it. And so many of us had to learn early on. For us, love was transactional. It wasn't because we exist. It wasn't because it was if I am, if I don't ask for a lot, if I'm the quiet one, if I'm the good one, then I'll get treated well. If I don't require a lot, that makes me a good person. That makes me better and more desirable because nobody has to do a lot to be with me and I can love them. That seems noble. But you're just basically telling them, you can get all of this for this little bitty price. Because your whole system of love, of relationships, of interaction has been strictly transactional. Your experience up to this point. They'll love me if I could just make them see But that is not love. That's the illusion of love. That is the lie that has taken love's seat. Let's see. I don't know. What? Anyway. Wow. Off topic. Where is it? Just the two of us. Anyway. So, I'm trying to figure out what deck I want to use. I was going through some of my stuff the other day. My beads. Specifically, I thought I was going to distract myself because I was in one of those weird trance funks and I was like, I need to do something. And so I dug out all my beading crap and I ended up just like pulling it out and literally like showing it across the dining room table. Just like, well, at least now I have pretty sparkly beads. But anyway, in the process of going through these fucking endless things of beads, I came across my oracle decks that I thought I had lost in the storage unit, but turns out they were just tucked away. And some of the stuff, when we went to the shelter, that got like shoved in a box and put up. Anyways, it'd been a hot minute. So, I'm gonna use these guys because we just found each other again. I haven't answered it yet. I know you're excited. I'm excited too. It's been forever together. Hold on. Okay. This one wants to be read. Somebody with their back turned. Oh wait, is their back turned or is it an open target? Did someone turn their back on you or did they leave for you an open target? Don't get squeamish now. You wanted to play with knives after all. Keep that blade in your back. You might be able to use it later. That's a message for somebody out there. Helps your mind start to think of things in a different way. Takes that victim mentality back to that warrior. So like, remember who the fuck you are. Alright, for magician, channeler of power, potential, magic, illusion, manifestation, please. Please don't do that. Do this way? There we go. Alright, so it's this one. These are regular playing cards. They do have tarot meanings, but I use them for something different. Anyway. Fencing. A simple duel can reveal a lot of truth as well as spill a lot of blood. The sharp kind is sexy. Brutal honesty is still honesty. Okay? So, by you stepping into your truth, being your authentic self, no longer being the one that's going to entertain the thoughts of if. No. If I am respected. If my boundaries are honored. If I am comfortable in your energy, then we can talk. Then we can start to make plans on what role you'll have in my life. But if I don't jive with any of it, you have no place in my life. And I owe you no fucking explanation for that. You owe nobody an explanation as to why you don't want to be around them, interact with them. I don't care if it's your fucking sister. I don't care if it's your best friend from kindergarten. I don't care if it's your spouse of 5 years, 10 years, what the fuck ever. If you have had to settle or be put in this place of feeling like you're not enough just to have somebody in your life, it might be time to cut it off, because the more you step into your authenticity and stand by yourself, the faster those manifestations come through. The more that magic begins to reach the surface, the more it breaches the surface and pours outside of you. But you have to be willing to show up. You have to be willing to be like, this is me. This is who I am. Like it or fucking not. I'm here and you're gonna fucking deal with it. I will not make myself less to make you try to feel more comfortable anymore. A lot of these motherfuckers got like their position in our life because we're the one that fucking put them there. The reason they keep coming back for more is because our energy is potent, powerful shit. It's convincing. What we give, even when we only give a little, you guys are so much more powerful than you give yourselves credit for it. And even if you do give yourself credit for it, be louder. Oh, that's cool. I was like, just the two of us. I was like, I don't know why I fucking said that. Cute. What each of us are as a whole defines what we become together. What's cooking? So what are you cooking up? What are you manifesting? And how ready are you to stand in your power. All this work has been for something, right? Are you gonna make all of this shit that you've been through be in vain for some petty motherfuckers who are some emperor has no clothes little... If you really gave them the harsh, honest truth, and you know this as well as I do, it would cut them to the quick so fast. But they never bat an eye about doing it to us because they know we can take it. And why do we take it? It's because we know we can use it. And it's time. What have you been cooking? What has all of this been for? Let that brutal honesty come out, because truth is truth, and that's the thing. Just, anyway, moving to the next one. Athlete, seeker of vitality, exercise, life, strength, speed. Anyway, here's this. Okay, shakes more than twice, fuckboy vibes, Mr. Right Now, always has an offer of some kind. Alright, so having dealt with these type of individuals has given you quite the endurance test, so to speak. And it's because of these kind of individuals that when the real non-transactional type of give, love, is going to be so epic for you. Because your heart has already gone through the process of that endurance training of falling to pieces and having to get back up and get stronger, and your soul has continued on as fiercely as it has for a fucking reason. You have so much vitality. And these little fuck boys or little cookie cutter bitches are they know what you got. And it's time to just be straight up with them and be like, look, you can't access it anymore because I said so. Ooh. This is about sacred geometry and how all this connects. It's all interconnected, and the heart is in the center, okay? You have the black heart up here, the white heart down here. You can flip it, and it doesn't matter which way you flip it. Our hearts have been armored because of what they hold, okay? We're young. Vitality, innovation, potential, and growth. Ooh. I come from above, bitch. Alright. Let the blessings happen. Trust in the process you've endured to grow and reach this point that you have. Your experience has, been the innovation for what has been in creation, what you're getting ready to bring forth into this world through you. All that potential is being cashed in on. You're going to be being invested in. By the divine. Hell, you might even, if you're an artist of some kind, somebody might be investing in your work. Somebody might, you can take it as wherever it applies to you. I do not want to add in too many suggestions. You know how it applies to you, okay? It says, the truth still sees where you ran to hide, genius. And then it's got this little dude, he's like, ha, he's got a bow and arrow. And then there's this little dude running away, and it says he thinks he's getting away too. Like, he really thinks he's getting away. So, while you're being invested in all these motherfuckers that tried to leech off of your potential, that tried to dull your shine, that tried to keep you down in the mud so they could be like, look at me instead. Yeah. It's gonna be their turn to run like a bitch. From the truth of just you, who you are, why they act the way they do about you. For gang, Brotherhood of Shadows, Underworld, Transaction, Violence, Criminality. You have been. The truth sees through everything. Do you see what I see? Hidden until the right fucking time. That video I did about choose your weapon, it's time to round them up, guys. So many of you are going to absolutely adore the way that you're going to be getting the justice that you deserve. And how these motherfuckers who put you through the shit that they put you through get exactly what the fuck they deserve. You're back. Tender hearts require ruthless protection. I was just talking about this with the inner child thing. The badass mama bear. The sweetheart mother to anyone needing one. So many of you masculines, you have protected so fiercely your feminine aspects, be it internally, externally, or both. And so many of you feminines, your inner masculine has laid forth a red carpet for your goddess self to make her grand entrance. When I said mama's home, she's back. And she's aware. And she's coming the fuck in and she's pissed. She came with goons. Because she was kept down too. And those of us who have done the work to bring that balance through so that she could come back, to cut through the bullshit, to be the ones to alchemize this shit because nobody fucking else would. Should we get 2 just to have as key points moving forward, please? Teamwork makes the dream work. Birds of a feather. 1 for each hand, just the 2 of us. Like this might be touching on divine union, the amalgamation, the 2 polarities, within self, outside of self, becoming one. You get what I'm saying? The 2 polarities, and here's this little, I don't know what to do with it yet. Sweet. You're gonna know at the right time what it's all been for. What your heart has endured, what it's been preparing for. Because your loyalty, the fact that you didn't give up, you didn't stop, you persevered. Because you already hold the love that you yourself deserve. Because you were that for others. You were already the example of that. You have made a badass, indestructible home for the one meant for you. Even if that's just for yourself, to be able to love yourself. Not everybody wants, an external romance experience. That's totally fine. It could be that home for your inner child, that home for your amalgamated self, that home for whatever passion that you have carried with you that has made all of this shit. Like, when you thought of giving up, the thing that kept you going, okay, that's something. I think I'm gonna do the visions in the liminal space. Gosh, noisy much? Okay. This one came out. Until the day breaks and the shadows flee away. And they are. Did y'all see that? My fucking candles just went out. Like, suddenly, like. I still have what? They even made a fucking sound. Like, alright. That was cool. There and back again. So many of us, this is not our first rodeo. And we're finally choosing whether you like it or not. To let it break. Ugh. To let all those empty wishes, let them break. All those false bonds, false contracts, false perceptions, false versions. Just let it fucking break. There's so much freedom in that. Yeah, it's a bit scary. But stop thinking of all the what if. And just be. Let life show you what it has to offer outside of you leaning on the assumption that it's always going to be there and back again, there and back again, there. No, not this time. Because it's time for the dawn to break. It's time for that light to shine on us. And as this continues to reveal itself, like, let the survival mode has ingrained in you a need to know. That's why so many of us who've been through this shit are so intelligent, so adaptable. But it also creates this kind of, I need to know what's going to happen. I need to know so I know how to prepare. If I know the worst, I can deal with the worst. Just please, I need to prepare for it. Just please let me know. And source of the universe are like, no, like it or not, you're gonna let me fucking surprise you. So if some of you have been struggling to, if you channel, if you do cards, any type of divination, or just normally or like you're highly intuitive and you just know shit, and then all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck happened? What the fuck? Like, it's because, like it or not, the universe and source have a surprise. And it's been a long time in the working, and we're not gonna ruin it. Be surprised. Okay. Get some of my little cards here. I can use this one in a minute. More of my handmade cards. Is it obvious yet that yeah, being my subconscious and source of the universe, like, we spend a lot of time together. Anyway, whatever. That just happened. Okay. Looking glass. Pilgrimage. Back to yourself. Before this happened. Before Humpty Dumpty cracked, bro. All the king's horses and all the king's men may have not been able to put Humpty together again, but Mama is. When you find yourself asking why? Why did it have to be this way? Consider the source. Understand the psychology. Pay attention to those who peek into your life, who are always trying to get into your business. Consider the source of where most of your suffering has come from. Understand the psychology behind their bullshit. They knew how amazing you were all fucking along. You were the only one who was left out of the loop. Because it was the only way that they could continue on with this illusion that they were something else. And on this card, this little boy that's peeking over and everything, he's got a sealed envelope in his hand with a message. So that might be relevant to somebody. You might be getting some kind of information arriving to you concerning your identity, your past, who you are. I'll give you some peace on that. Temple, the artisan of emotions, Bella Figura. Beautiful figure, the artisan of emotions, the body, the beautiful figure, the form, the temple of that which dwells within you. And you're always talking about that heart space, what you've created. Okay. Because anchored within you is an immortal princess. Yes, this anchor also looks like a fin too, doesn't it? And also, start to consider the source of where you came from. It's time to learn. Sit down. Shut up. Or learn how to be surprised. Learn how to be happy. Whatever. That. Learn to be okay with what you are, who you are, and the power that you hold, and know that you can trust yourselves with it. There's so much coming in, and there's going to be ones that are going to be teaching you about your power that you were kept from. To help guide you after you step into this entirely new thing that has been anchored within you all along, that has risen up, is rising up, and not just rising up, but coming through. You guys did the job of holding it. You didn't let that egg be cracked from the outside. An egg being cracked from the outside is destruction of the life that it holds within. But when an egg cracks from the inside, new life emerges. We have past loves, friends. It provided a way for the wealthy to burnish their egos and boost their status. So scapegoating aspects of self this was a big motive for it, okay? And it led to desperately seeking cutthroat revenge. Poor little rich girls spell. Your words. Brutality that isn't honest, that isn't true. Cause meets effect. And you have to understand over time through all of this, these two that have been cut. Dude, do you see what that says? Let me spoil you. Remember who your best friend was before all this was imposed upon you. Before all these false narratives, suggestions. Before all of it. What was there before? It's coming back. Because vengeance belongs to this thing. For a good reason. And trust that this vengeance is not for you. It's a vengeance. Because this is for you. Get 2 more, please. Right. It's okay to be honest. You tried to let people know that, right? You tried to let them know when it was you. So what's the problem? I was mad. I couldn't let things go. But would they? No. They couldn't even give you that. They had these radical ideas on how to just make you suffer. Because at some point, you made them feel less than simply by being you. So they're like, you know what? Let's find a way to alienate them from who they really are. Because I feel less than next to them. And yeah, there was a battle within yourself. But over time, that holding space that you created for that purest part of you, it's like, oh shit, you know? Guys, this is so beautiful. Life is what is happening when you're busy doing other things. Take a moment to pause. Listen well and wisely. Revelation, revival, life lessons. It's all been for something. You did the work. Now it's time for the rest of them to sit down, shut up, and pay attention. they have life lessons to learn. You've already done this. Your monster wants you to come and talk to them one-on-one about the role that you're going to be playing in either guiding or being one of the equalizers or going elsewhere. Okay, because that is between you and your monster. Everybody don't need to know that. If you want to share it, fine. But, House rules. Be careful what you wish for. Be the change. Less is more is more. Dedicated to crafting, inspiring the world. Begin your own tradition. Some of you are going to be relocating, so to speak. A whole new world. Tough love king. Sometimes the things that are the hardest to appreciate are the most worthy. I know it might be hard to appreciate right now all this fuckery that you've endured and you've been through, but you trust me when I say you will see. You'll see. And it's going to be so fucking worth it. Exactly. Don't worry until you must. Compliment, grudge. There's been a spy holding a grudge, somebody being an ass. What makes you a legend? Because what makes you a legend has somebody fucking triggered. Yeah, that person you're thinking about. Exactly that person, and quite a few more. But it says, monster loves you. I don't like it. Anyway. We've got a new way to bond with the natural world around us. Discovering the creatures, the call of the wild. What have you been crafting inside of yourself? What new form, new image have you been giving substance to by existing the way that you have? You're about to find out. And the rest of us are going to find out. We're going to be seeing each other, guys. Like, truly, like, in a whole new way. It's, ugh. And you'd think that they were jealous before. God. Gonna be the sweetest revenge. Sweeter than any ass whooping that you have been waiting to give. You know, it's like the reflection. Anyway, whatever. After a century of drama, you're gonna be able to take a look and wipe that looking glass. You see all that water? I'm gonna get one more of these, or however many you want to come. Okay, 1, 2, 4. All right. Being stubborn about what means the most to you. The horns, not a crown of thorns, a crown of. Refusing to compromise. Refusal isn't always a bad thing. Refusing to budge. It's a blessing in disguise. For you. For them. Wow. Now they'll get to carry the thorns while you get your horns. Feel perfect. What is your perfect in this moment? This moment right now. What is your perfect right now? Say one thing out loud. Leave it in the comments. What is your perfect in this moment? The one. Rare jewels of the world. It's heaven in here. We love our beloved. Looking for signs. So that which you just thought of. that perfect in this moment, each moment holds so much more than many of us care to even bother to look at. And even having taken a second to look around yourself and say, what is my body? You stop, you take a second, you look around. And it's okay if you don't know what to say, or if nothing comes to mind just yet. But you'll know it when you see it, because it's going to be the one thing that wants something, that wants someone. And be on the lookout for those signs, the things that make you feel loved. The word beloved, to be loved. It's heaven to be loved. And they all know it because you created that for them, but it's time for you to. And for them, the theme of the evening is feeding our feelings. Look up some of the symbology about strawberries. We alchemize. So we know by the time that we've had to eat our feelings. You notice how down here he's dipping it in chocolate. And why it is part of the process of alchemy, it's taking something and melting it down. Eat your heart out, bro. Because what you created out of your feelings, so that which got to your heart that you were holding in there, you bit the pain so that innermost part of you didn't have to. You know that part in Peter Pan where Tinkerbell drinks the poison for Peter? What was the only way he could bring her back? He had to keep putting his hands together. I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you. Anyway. It might sound ridiculous, but there's profound wisdom in everything if you choose to see it. You can drop your pride, quit entertaining the urge to mock everything precious and pure that is presented before you, you know? And you have been that something that has been beastly enough to protect that which is most precious and pure, and it is being noticed, it is seen, it is needed. And it's your time. And I hope you make the